Hello, this is my mind map video 2. I'm Nico Geraldo. The central theme for this was human knowledge, technology, and reality. So first I'd like to start off with, I guess, maybe Hans Blumenberg. I'll start off with him. Um, he talked about how the Greeks and the Christians thought about humans' use of tools. So the Greek philosophy believes that technology imitates natural processes, opposites, or kind of opposites, because the Christian belief is that humans are greater beings, kind of created by God, and since they have the ability to shape their reality through tools, they are kind of like above nature, I guess. While the Greeks kind of believed the opposite, just saying that, oh, human tools were just made based on natural processes. So, kind of interesting. Another term that Hans Blumenberg described was homo faber. Also, don't know if I'm saying that right. Hope I am. But he says that the technology doesn't define humans, and humans have just increasingly used technology over the years, which kind of goes into his technization point over here. But he slightly disagrees with this term because this term is like maker man, something like that, which kind of describes humans' ability to create tools, which is really similar to this Christian view. um, but going to technization, this kind of connects to Edmund Husserl's view of Lebenswelt, which is the life world, in that, like, whatever we experience is slightly different than what science describes. Like, the sun setting and rising isn't necessarily the scientific definition, since there's like a solar system and there's orbits and everything like that. So, uh, but one of the things that Blumenberg argued was that like technology transforms the life world. So it's not like a separate thing. It just is a part of the life world, kind of. Also, there's this term, phenomenology. Don't know what it means, but it looks cool. I do know it has something to do with life world, but I can't remember exactly what it means. Um, Another topic that Blumenberg talked about was nature versus technology, and he argued that the traditional view that they are opposites is wrong. He's really about the like combination of technology in human history, which is what technization means, right? But he like goes out of his way to say that nature or technology is just kind of a part of how humans experience nature. So, especially like in recent years as technology has gotten more like advanced. But a little bit more confused or less confusing to me at least is like what Richard Feynman and Claude Levi-Strauss were talking about. So Levi-Strauss defined two ways of thinking, which were mythical thinking, or I guess he like discussed them in the scientific process, which is more like engineering thinking. Um, and the best way I can like describe the difference between them is if we're trying to make a bridge to cross a like a river, um, and we're a mythical thinker, we're going to use things around us instead of trying to come up with a like an engineering solution. So like we'll see logs and we'll kind of just form them into a bridge and not really test it. Like we'll put our weight on it, but it's not super analyzed. It's just get the logs, put them there, it looks safe, we'll cross the bridge. The scientific process would be like measuring the exact distance, finding like the stress of a material to make sure that it's going to last for a long time, and really fully designing the whole bridge experience there. I kind of like that, but I also kind of like just throwing the log there. It's kind of funny. Bricolage is another term that he described, and it ties into the mythical thinking. Um, but it's also interesting because it kind of relates to the cargo cult science that Richard Feynman was talking about. I really like Richard Feynman's view on scientific integrity. I also read an article related to scientific integrity that said it was like over half of like recent, I think it was medical. I think it was like medical experiments. Over half of them were unreplicatable, and that's just ridiculous to me. So I really like his view on the rigor that needs to go into science, like anything science based, especially when it's going to affect people's lives. So his view on scientific integrity is completely opposite to what cargo cult science is, which is just imitating like solutions that people have seen, but it's not really science based or anything. So that kind of goes with the mythical thinking view of just seeing something that you already have and then trying to use it without actually like having to go through the design process. So I thought it was cool that those two concepts kind of connected. Um, but yeah, this week was a little bit more confusing than last week. I don't fully understand. I get like general ideas of most of the things, but the exact connections are still a little blurry to me. But I did have fun making this mind map in more color and trying to go a little bit more in depth on the connections if I could. But yeah, thank you for watching.